Hi, and thank you so much for joining me for today's lower body Pilates workout. Today we're going to be strengthening our thighs and calves, sculpting and defining the leg muscles, and lifting, toning, and sculpting the glutes. We're also going to be working into our hips, and we're not going to be using any equipment whatsoever, just body weight resistance to get a great workout. If you do wish to use weights or ankle weights, you can step up the intensity, but trust me, even without the weight, you'll still feel the work and get great results. This workout does include a warm-up and a cool down, so let's go ahead and get right into it. We're going to start off with a shoulder distance stance apart with the feet. The hands are on the hips, there's a gentle bend in those knees, and we're just going to start circling the hips in one direction, drawing really nice big circles, sending the hips back behind, out to the side, gently pushing them forward, out to the opposite side and back and around. Good. So relax your shoulders down away from your ears here. Really bend into those knees as much as is needed. Really push those hips forward, getting into the hip flexors. As you circle around to the front, let's switch directions, circling, creating lubrication in the hip joints. Good, bending into those knees. Feels really good, especially if this is your first movement today. Really rolling away, circling away any tension in the hips feels really good. For 2. And final 1, circling and bringing those hips back to center. Now, setting your posture up nice and tall, shoulders are down away from the ears, neck is long, the chin is parallel with the floor. I brought my stance a little bit closer together so the feet are hip distance apart. I'm going to take my hands, either keep them by my sides or put them on your hips, whatever's more comfortable, and we're going to lift the right knee and lower, lift the left knee and lower. So really drive that knee up. Try to maintain balance as you do so. So try not to lean too much to your supporting side, warming up the hips and knees and ankles. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Getting into that Pilates breath. Good. Engaging the core as you breathe out and lift the knee. Let's go. 5. Nice tall posture. 4, lengthening up through the crown of the head. 2, and final 1. We're now going to go into some narrow squats. So we're going to keep the feet about hip distance apart. We're going to lower, keep the chest nice and lifted. Knees are parallel, legs are parallel, and then lift. Lower as though sitting back in a chair, and then lift. Lower, weight goes into the heels, and drive up through the heels to lift. Now I want you to really engage the core as you do so as well. I'll take a side view so you can see what that looks like. Being careful not to arch the spine as you come down, keeping a nice long flat back. Good. And have a look at those knees. Make sure that they're not knocking in or splaying out to the sides. Really drawing your belly button to your spine every time you push up through those heels and breathe out. Let's go. 3, 2, squeeze the glutes to lift, and final 1, nicely done. Now we're going to take a really wide stance, toes are turned out, and we're going to go into some more squats, keeping the torso upright. We're lowering and lifting, lowering and lifting. Inhale to lower, exhale, drive up through the heels. So I want you to squeeze into your thighs here. Open those knees nice and wide as we continue to warm up the body. Good. Engaging the core, focusing on our posture as we warm up those lower body muscles as well. Let's go. 3, 2, nice work. Final 1. Now we're going to come down into a low squat, wide squat and lift, and then we're going to pivot to the right, and lunge. Back to center, lower, and pivot to the left, lunge. Center, lift, pivot, lunge. Center, lift, pivot, lunge. So rotating the balls of the feet, maintaining that balance. Good. Let's go 3, 2, and we'll go once more to the center and once more to the left. Amazing work. Okay, from here we're gonna get into our standing lower body work. So we're gonna really fire up the glutes. We're gonna start with the right side, regulating the breath, bringing that right foot forward, stepping the left foot back. So I want you to take a moment here to make sure that you're really set up with good form. That right ankle, knee, and hip bone are tracking in alignment. Now from here, you can have your hands on your hips. We're going to lower into a lunge and then lift. Now as you lift, I want you to really squeeze that right glute. Lower and squeeze to lift. Lower and squeeze the glute. Really push up through the heel as you lift. Now if you want to slightly hinge forward, you can. Sometimes people feel that this helps them to target that glute a little bit more intensely. Just bringing the torso slightly forward. Good. Lowering and driving up through the heel. Good work. Let's go 8. Push up through that heel. 7. The back leg's there just for support, so don't put any weight in it. Good. Last 5, keep those shoulders down away from your ears. For 4, drive up through that heel. 3, nice tight core. And final 1, nice work. Now from here, bringing the feet together, we're going to go into some step ups, targeting that right side. So we're stepping the left leg back, and then we're stepping up. Weight in that back heel as we lift. Weight in that front heel as we lift, rather. So you're stepping back, squeezing the glute, lifting, pausing for a moment, and then stepping back and repeating. Good. Really drive that knee up, squeeze the right glutes as you do so. Try to maintain balance and stability. Good. Good. Keep the gaze straight ahead so that you're really focusing on that balance. Nice work. We've got 5 more. For 5, drive up through the right heel. 4, nice tight core, it'll help with balance. 3, and 2, and final 1. Amazing work. Now we're going to take the stance nice and wide, continuing to focus on this right side. Take a couple of deep breaths here. Roll out any tension in the shoulders as we prepare for our side lunges. So the toes are turned out. We're going to lunge to the right, weight in that right heel, and then lift. Lunge and lift. So I really want you to be sending your bum out behind you and then driving up through the heel. Send that bum back and push up through that heel. Really focusing on that gluteus medius muscle as you come up. The gluteus maximus is working here too. Good. Let's go 10. 9, mind to muscle with every lift. 8. 7. 6. Drive up through that heel. You're doing great for 5. 4. Great form. 3, nice open chest and lifted torso. 2, abs in. and final 1. Great. Okay, now we're going to move over onto the opposite side and focus on the left glutes. So we're going to step the left foot forward, step the right foot back, making sure that the ankle, the knee, and the hip are tracking in alignment. That back stability. We're lowering into our lunge and driving up through left heel. Lowering and lifting, keeping the torso upright or slightly hinging forward while maintaining that flat back. I want you to really focus on those left glutes doing the work. Put your focus and your energy into that area of the body. Really make it count. Good. We've got 8. Drive up through the heel. You're doing amazingly well. 7, 6. I like doing this with weights and without weights. And I find that without weights, you really have to focus on that muscle engagement. It's really good practice. 2, abs in, and final 1. Great work. Okay, step the feet back together for a moment. Roll the shoulders down away from the ears. And we're going into those step ups. So we're stepping the right foot back, and then we're balancing on the left foot as we step up. Step back, drive up through the heels, squeeze left glutes. Step it back and lift. Good. Working that balance, working that control. Amazing. Let's go 10. Gaze straight ahead helps with balance. Good. Last 8. Push up through the heel. 7. Great form. 6. 5. Holding for that split second at the top to really engage the muscles. 3. And 2. Keep that chest nice and open. And last 1. Release it down. Good. Now we're stepping the feet really nice and wide and preparing for our side lunges so the toes are turned slightly out. We're lunging over to that left side and lifting. Lunging, getting low, sending the hips out behind you and lifting. Pushing up. I want you to, as soon as you start to straighten the legs, start that tension on the glutes straight away so that you're contracting the glutes the whole way up. Good. Get low, push up through the heel. Let's go 10. 9, tighten the core as you do so. Good. 8, 7, 6. Activating those glutes as much as possible. For 4, 3, nice powerful lifts, and 2, and final 1. Amazing. Okay, final set of standing exercises. We're going to go back into that narrow squat. So our feet are about hip distance apart. Feet are parallel, spine is nice and long. We're gonna pulse 1, 2, 3. Then we're gonna step the foot out to the right foot out to the right, and pulse 1, 2, 3 with wide knees. Back to center, low. Pulse, narrow squats, 2, legs parallel, 3. Out to the left with the left foot, 1, 2, get lower, 3. Nice work, back to center, 1, 2, weight in the heels, 3. Out to the side, 1, 2, and 3. You're doing great. 1, get a little lower, 2, nice flat back, 3, out to the side for 1, 2, and 3. Now, if you want to step it up for the next couple of sets, we're going to lift the heel of the foot that's stepped out to the side. So it looks like this. 1, 2, 3. Step out to the side. Lift the right heel, pulse 1, 2, 3. Good work. Both feet flat. 1, 2, 3. Step the left foot out. Lift the heel. 1, 2, 3. Good. To center. If that's too much, just keep the feet flat on the floor the whole time. Good. 1, 2. Get a little lower. 3. Nice challenge. 1, 2, 3. Don't let those knees knock in. 1, 2, and 3. Last set. Low, low, squat, and to the side, squat, 2, 3, back to center, 1, 2, 3, you're doing great. Last 1, 2, and 3, back to center. You can circle out your knees, should give your legs a little bit of a shake. Amazing work with that standing series. We're now going to come to the back of the mat and just do a bit of a spine stretch as we transition down onto the floor. So we're going to lift the arms up nice and high, fold forward, let the head hang heavy, walk the hands forward, coming into a plank, and then lower the knees, take them nice and wide, and stretch back into child's pose. Holding it here for 3, lengthening through the spine, 2, regulating the breath, and 1. Okay, from here we're gonna come into an all fours position, and then we're gonna drop the right forearm down to the floor. So I want the right forearm to be parallel with the top of the mat. We've got a gentle bend in that left arm. The neck is nice and long. And then we're going to lift that left knee up into a fire hydrant. Hover the knee above the floor and lift up again. So we're creating space so we can open up to the side. Focusing now on the gluteus medius muscles. Good. Really stretch out nice and long through the neck. Don't let those shoulders creep up by the ears. Good. Keep breathing, and I really want you, again, mind-muscle connection, really focus on those side glutes. As you lift the leg, pause at the top of the lift for a split second, and then lower down. Let's go 7, tighten the core. 6, lift that knee a little higher. For 5, 4, 3, belly to spine, 2, and final 1. Now from here, we're gonna tap the knee to the elbow and extend the leg. Tap knee toward the elbow and extend. So you're extending on a diagonal so that you're really targeting the gluteus medius muscles here. Good. Tap and extend. Tap and extend. Great work. Really point through the toes for 10. Relax those shoulders. 9, squeeze the bum. 8, lengthen through the leg. You're working your leg muscles here too. For 5, 4, full extension. 3, keep that leg elevated. 2, and final 1. And relax it down. Take yourself down onto your side body. You want that left leg on top. We're going to go into a version of the fire hydrants again, but this time from a side lying position. So I've got my head supported on my hand. It can be on your outstretched arm if you would prefer. I've got my hips stacked, knees stacked, shins are parallel with the edge of the mat, toes are pointed, and my opposite hand is down here on the mat for support and stability. We're gonna lift that top leg up and lower. Don't let that top hip roll back. We wanna keep that top hip stacked on top of that lower hip as we lift and lower. Lift, squeeze the glute and lower. Lift, engage and lower. Tighten your core as you lift the leg. Make it really count. Keep your torso stable. Let's go 9, 8, keeping those legs parallel. 7, squeeze the glutes at the top of every lift. 6, 5, keep breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. For 3, Last 2. And final 1. Nicely done. Now we're going to build on. So we're going to lift that top leg, extend the leg, bend and lower. Lift, extend. So you're sort of extending out on a diagonal, bend and lower. Lift, stretch, bend and lower. Good work. Lift, extend, bend and lower. Keep your neck long, keep your shoulders down away from your ears. Good, we've got 10 more. Keep breathing for 9. Tighten the core as you stretch that leg for extra added benefit. Good, for 7. Nice long neck. 6, full extension, pointing hard through the toes. 5, great job. 4, 3, belly to spine. And 2, leg is working really hard. Great work. And final 1. Now we're gonna move into some big circles with that top leg. So I'd like you to extend the leg out long, point through the toes. We're gonna bring the leg back and circle it forward. Nice big circles. Really plug your navel in so that you're not rocking around in your torso. You're just moving that leg around in the hip socket as you contract all the muscles in the leg. Good, reverse. Good. Really lengthen, use your toe like a big pencil in the air, drawing big circles for 5 and 4 and 3. Last 2 and final 1, lowering down. Now, from here, we're going to bring the leg back up and we're going to draw some small circles in the air. So full extension of the leg, we're going to circle for 10, 9, 8, itty bitty circles with the big toe. Ooh, they burn, I know. Keep that leg elevated. 2 and 1. Reverse direction of those circles for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Keep that leg lifted. 2 and 1. Ooh, that burned in the glutes. I hope you felt it. I certainly did. Okay, from here, we're going to give that top leg a bit of a rest, and we're going to focus our attention on our inner thigh, our inner right thigh. So I'm making a bridge with that top leg. It can be behind or in front, whatever's more comfortable for you. We're just going to start with some leg lifts. So we're going to lift, squeeze the inner thigh, and lower. Just hover the foot above the floor rather than resting it all the way down. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Squeeze the inner thigh to lift. Good. Nice work. Amazing. For 10 and 9. Squeeze that thigh with every lift. 6. Nice long relaxed neck. 4, 3. Inner thigh working hard already. 2 and 1. Good work. Now we're going to circle. You can lower the leg down for a moment. We're going to draw circles in the air with that lower leg. So we're circling up, down, and around. Up, down, and around. Last 2. And pause at the top. Reverse directions of those circles. Circling back. Good. Squeezing the thigh with every circle. Keeping that leg elevated for 3 and 2 and 1. Lower down. Nice work on that side. Okay, now we need to come over and do the other side. So we're coming into our all fours position. Positioning the wrists below the shoulders and the knees are below the hips. Now we're dropping down onto that left forearm. Gentle bend in the right arm, extending and lengthening through the spine. Lifting that right knee up and then lowering it, just hovering it above the mat and repeating. We just worked our left side so hard. It's now time to focus on those right glutes. Good, really squeeze the side bum at the top of every lift. Keeping those shoulders down and relaxed. 8, 7, nice work. 6, lift a bit higher. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Tap the knee to the elbow and extend. Tap the knee. It doesn't have to touch. It can just come toward and extend on that diagonal. Good. Full extensions. You've got this. 9, 8, point through the toes. 7, contract all the leg muscles. 6, working the glutes, thighs, and calves. For 4, relax those shoulders, lengthen through the neck. 2, and final 1, and lower that leg down, coming down onto your side body. Whew, it feels good to get out of that position. So we're lining up the shins with the edge of the mat, the knees are stacked, hips are stacked, hand is down on the mat for support, and head is supported in the hand or the outstretched arm. Let's pick that right knee up and lower it, keeping it perfectly parallel with the lower leg. Good. Squeezing that side booty with every lift. Excellent. Let's go 10. Tighten the core. 9. Don't let that top hip roll back. 7, you're doing so well. 6, it's amazing how much work you can do even without weights. You can do this workout anywhere and still get results. Good. 2, and final 1. Amazing. Now, keeping those shoulders relaxed, keeping that core engaged, we're lifting up that top leg, extending, bending, and lowering it. Lifting, extend, bend to parallel, and lower. Good. Nice work. Amazing. Full extension before bending and lowering it back down. Last 10, stick with it. And 9. 8. I know these are tough, but you're doing really well. For 7, keep those shoulders relaxed. 6, strengthening and lengthening those muscles. Great. Last 3, you can do it. And 2, side booty working hard. And final 1, and we're gonna lower that leg down. Good. From here, we're going into those big circles. So really make sure that you're stable through the torso, your core is engaged. We're gonna pick that top leg up and circle it. Nice. Drawing nice, big, smooth circles in the air. Isolating this work in the lower body. Good. And last one in this direction. Good. Now we're going to change direction, circling backwards. Good. For 5, get a lot of lift. 4, belly to spine. 3, lengthening through the neck. 2, drawing that circle back. And last 1, and lower. Going into those really challenging tiny little circles, we're lifting the leg, lengthening from the hip all the way out through the big toe and circling little circles. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Reverse directions for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Lift the leg a bit higher, don't let it drop. 2, and 1. Ooh, the burn. Okay, now we're stretching the legs out and creating that bridge, either in front of or behind the lower leg. Lifting, squeezing the inner thigh, and lowering, just hovering. Lifting and lowering. Squeeze the inner thigh and lower. Lift, really focusing on those inner thigh muscles, doing the work with every lift, keeping the tension on the inner thigh the entire time for 9, 8, good, lift a bit higher for 7, and 6, abs in, 5, you're doing great, 4, last 3, lift a bit higher for 2, and final 1. Now we're going to draw those circles. So we're going to circle forward for 7, 6, 5, really pick that foot up, 4, 3, squeeze the inner thigh, and 1, reverse directions for 7, 6, using your toe like a pencil in the air, circling backwards, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax it down. Amazing work. Lift yourself up for a moment and let's just stretch out the inner thighs. So I'm just going to bring the soles of the feet together. Sitting up really nice and tall, lengthening through the spine. You can slightly hinge forward if that feels good. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Okay, from here we're going to get into an all fours position. I'm going to come to the top of my mat, positioning the wrists below the shoulders and the knees below the hips. We want to really plug our navel in toward our spines. We're going to extend the left leg out long and then lift the left leg to torso height. From here, keeping the hips square with the mat, we're going to flex the foot and point. Flex and point. Inhale to flex, exhale to point. Inhaling and exhaling. Good work. So as you flex and point, I want you to keep pushing the mat away so you've got nice broad shoulders. And I want you to really focus on lengthening out through the big toe and then lengthening through the heel. Switching on those hamstrings, the thighs are working here, the glutes are firing. Let's go 3, 2, and 1. Nicely done. Now from here, keeping yourself balanced and your shoulders nice and broad, we're tapping the knee down to the mat with the toe pointed and then extending with a flex. So tap, point, flex, extend. Tap, point, flex, extend. Now as you flex and extend, I want you to really squeeze your bum. Really focus on those left glutes as you tap and extend. Tap and extend. Try not to lean over to your right side. You want to keep those shoulders nice and broad, nice and level. Let's go 5, 4, nice tight core. Push the mat away. 3, and 2, and 1. Amazing. Keeping the leg extended and the foot flexed, I'm going to come down onto my forearms. You can have your forearms parallel or you can interlace like me. Your fingers. We're going to tap the flexed foot down. Lift, hamstring curl. Extend, tap, lift, and bend. Good. Really pulling the heel back toward the bum on that hamstring curl. Good, keeping the shoulders down away from the ears as you do so. We've got 10. Good work. 9, flex and lower for 8. Good, keep the core nice and tight and drawn in. 7, breathe through it. I know these are tough. We've got 5. Keep those shoulders down, keep the neck long. Last 3, you've got this. And 2. And final 1. We're going to extend and hold. Now we're going to slow pulse the heel up for 10, 9, 8. Nice and slow. 7, 6, 5. Lift the leg a bit higher. 4. You can do this. 3, 2, and 1. Hold it there. Quick little micro pulses up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Amazing work. Now coming up on into an all fours position. We're going to go into some slow bent knee, pointed toe pulses. 10, slow. 9, squeeze the glutes. 7, good, squeezing that booty with every lift. 2, and 1, hold it there. Broaden across the shoulders, little micro pulses up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Lift the knee a little bit higher. 2, and 1, and lower it down. Take the knees nice and wide and sink back into a child's pose. Ooh, those were tough. We really burnt out that left side. We're going to do the same on the right side, and then we get to move into our cool down and stretch. We're so close to the finish line, so stick with it. You're going to really work for that lift in the glutes, and you're going to feel amazing for it. Okay, so we're in our all fours position at the top of the mat. Shoulders are broad, knees are below hips. I'm extending the right leg to torso height, squaring the hips with the mat and flexing and pointing. Flexing and pointing. Flexing, get length through the heel and then length out through the big toe. Tightening the core as we do so. Amazing work. Work that balance, work that stability, work that lower body strength. Keep breathing here. Find as much length as possible through that heel and out through those toes. Let's go. 5, 4, 3. Keep that leg elevated for 2. And final 1. Amazing work. Now bending the knee in and then flexing to extend. Point to tap, flex, extend. Point and flex. Point and flex, driving through that heel. Good work. Keep those shoulders nice and broad. Keep that neck long. Core is engaged, especially as you kick out and breathe out. Last 5. Give it a lot of power. Imagine kicking something away from you. 3, 2, and 1. Keep that leg extended. Drop down onto the forearms. And then we're lowering the leg. Lifting, bend, extend, hamstring curl. Lower, lift, bend, extend. Lower, lift, pull the heel to the bum. Good work. Lower, lift, heel to the bum. Now this one, we can have a tendency to let those shoulders hunch up by your ears. Resist, resist, resist. You want to protect your neck and you don't want to strain your upper back muscles or your shoulders or your neck. Good. Keep going. Amazing work. We've got 5 and 4. Really flex that hamstring as you pull the heel back for 3. Nicely done for 2. And final 1. Keep that leg extended, slow pulses for 10. Squeeze the bum, getting that smile area, that area where the hamstrings and the glutes connect. Good. Hold it at the top and micro pulse up for 10. Keep that foot flexed. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down. So close to being done. Final push here. All fours. Bend that knee, point those toes, and lift and lower. Lift and lower. Slow pulses. Good. 3, 4. Squeeze the bum with every lift. Make it count. Good. For 5, 4, 3. Maintain a nice tight core and stable trunk. And 1. Hold at the top of the lift. Micro pulses up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Take those knees nice and wide. Keep the hips elevated. And let's stretch out in puppy pose. Breathing deeply in through the nose as we lengthen through the spine and out through the mouth. Inhale. And exhale, draw the armpits down to the floor. Really stretch out those shoulders, widen those knees. Good for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nicely done. Now from here, we're going to stretch out our glutes a little bit more. So we're going to roll down onto the mat, one vertebra at a time. I'd like you to cross your left leg over your right and interlace your fingers, taking them behind your right thigh. Keeping that lower back connected with the floor for extra added benefit, stretching out the lumbar spine. Hug that knee in a little bit closer towards you for 5, 4, 3, 2. Relax your shoulders, relax your face. And 1. Switch the crossing of your legs. Knee in. Good. Hugging it in close. Connecting the lower back with the mat. Breathing deeply. Keeping those shoulders relaxed for 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to roll ourselves up, cross the legs, roll over crossed legs, step back into a plank, and then from here we're going to fold one leg under the body, extending the opposite leg out long behind you. Going into pigeon pose. Breathing deeply here, sitting up nice and tall or folding over bent leg, whatever feels more comfortable. Just enjoying the stretch in your own way, getting back into that nice deep restorative breathing pattern in through the nose. And as you exhale, you're just breathing out all the air and relaxing yourself as you do so. Switching legs. Breathing deeply as we get this really nice deep stretch through the lower body. Back leg is straight out behind you. Good. Sink a little bit more deeply into your stretch if you can. And let's hold it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Amazing work. I'd like you to pivot around so that you are facing me. You can be kneeling, cross-legged, or stood. We're going to lift our shoulders up and roll them down and back. Lift those shoulders and melt them down and back. For 3, shrugging away tension. And 2, lengthening up through the crown of the head. And final 1, amazing work. That was a super challenging workout without the need for any weight. We still targeted our glutes, thighs, calves, hips. I hope you feel strong. I sure do, and I really look forward to moving again with you next time. See you soon.